We are in the midst of a winter storm, so I'm making some delicious homemade vegan potato soup. Yum! You can make your own vegetable broth quite easily. You can use a powdered vegetable bouillon. I happen to have vegetable broth that Frugal Daddy found dumpster diving, so I'm going to use this as my base, and I'm going to peel some potatoes and put them in the pot with the vegetable broth. Potato chunks are going in the pot. This is the fruit and vegetable discard bucket to go in the compost pile. And I'm going to saute some onions in just a little bit of olive oil. The onions and potatoes were also both from dumpster diving. I'm not that concerned about cutting them up super small because everything's just going to be blended up with the immersion blender anyway. So these are going on the stove to sweat away at a very low heat. So we have our broth and our cooked potatoes. We have our sauteed / steamed onions. I was roasting some garlic to put in, but I burned it, so now we're not putting garlic in. So this is a very simple 3-ingredient soup so far. The broth, the potatoes, and the onions. And I'm going to blend it all up with my immersion blender, and then we'll see what kind of herbs and spices we can figure out to put in that would taste good if it needs any further assistance. Alright, that is nice and thick and creamy. That tastes extremely bland. So, let's add some poultry seasoning that I found in the pantry. This has basil, rosemary, sage, marjoram, thyme, and oregano. We'll also add some Aldi garlic powder and some salt. I know, we're supposed to reduce salt, fat, and refined sugar, but a soup without salt is kind of not really worth eating. And I do not have high blood pressure. In fact, I have very low blood pressure. I thought it was too thick, so I actually just added another box of broth and blended it up. Add a little bit of pepper. Stir it all together. I was actually afraid it wasn't going to be thick enough, but then it was too thick. Did I mention the broth, the potatoes, and onions were all out of the dumpster? Now you could put in some of your nutritional yeast if you want to try to simulate a sort of a cheesy flavor. I had some nutritional yeast, but I'm still a little bit afraid to use it. Alright, let's give this a try. That's good. A very quick and simple 3-ingredient, super frugal potato soup. Have I mentioned that potatoes are going to solve world hunger? Yes, they are. Frugal Daddy, would you like to try the soup?
Yes.
Since you're in the midst of trying it.
Since the camera's on me.
Yeah, and you already have a spoon in your hand.
Yummy.
Yes, it is yummy. Did I mention to you that the potatoes, onions, and broth that make that soup
We're going to solve world hunger?
were all found in the dumpster?
No.
Potatoes are going to solve world hunger. They can grow anywhere. In any climate, in any soil, they're full of nutrition. They will solve world hunger. They're the food of my people.
Israelites?
My people are not the Israelites. Who are my people? Not that I have anything against the Israelites, but I am the Irish.
The Irish. I knew it was something with an I.
From Liverpool, Ireland.
From Liverpool, Ireland, the capital.
We miss you, Twish. Make potato soup.
I'd like some for lunch right now, please.
I know, this was free. This was free soup. Look at the present Autumn just gave me. It's 3 penguins! I love it! But wait, there's more. We need to make a delicious vegan dessert to go with that potato soup. So I say, black bean brownies. We're mixing it all up in our NutriBullet. Yes, I've made these before, but I'm kind of making this up from scratch as I go along. We're going to start out with a 15-ounce can of black beans, rinsed off in a sieve. We are going to add some vanilla extract. We're going to add a banana. Half a cup of baking Splenda. Half a cup of unsweetened dark chocolate powder. 3 teaspoons of flax meal. Now, 1 teaspoon of flax meal combines with 3 tablespoons of water to make an egg substitute. But instead of water, I'm going to use coffee. So I'm going to put in 9 tablespoons of coffee instead of just water, because I think the coffee will add a nice flavor. Half a teaspoon of baking powder. Alright, we'll blend this up and see what she looks like. Alright, that looks like brownie batter. We're going to pour it into our sprayed baking dish. That looks like the most delicious dark chocolate brownie batter ever. Alrighty, not that raw egg and batter has ever kept me from trying any kind of raw batter before, but certainly if one has concerns about salmonella, you're not going to have that concern here when you taste this batter because there's no raw egg in it. Yum! Now, if I had vegan chocolate chips, I would certainly add those, but I don't. What I am going to add is some walnuts and some buckwheat groats, because I just love the crunch that buckwheat groats bring to everything. I am a gal who likes texture, and I love a crunch in my food. I didn't want to put those in the blender, though, because I didn't want them to all break up. So I'm going to kind of swirl the buckwheat and the walnuts in at this juncture. And then we're going to pop this into our 350-degree oven. And bake it until I think it's finished. Now, obviously, you could use any kind of powdered sweetener you want if you're not a fan of the fake sweeteners like the Splenda. I'm really trying to stay away from refined sugar, so I did not want to put regular sugar in this. I suppose you could use maple syrup or honey, but I didn't want to do that. Because maple syrup, one, is just far too precious, and honey I just think would add a weird flavor. But you could obviously do that if you want. I was thinking about blending in some peanut butter, but I didn't want to go too crazy here. But I think that would be really good, so I might do that next time. So into the oven. Now, the blades of your NutriBullet are really sharp, so I don't really recommend doing this. I can't let it go to waste. And now let's talk nutrition. We all know potatoes and onions are good for you, so who cares about the soup? Let's talk about the brownies. Alright, first let's talk about that one banana that's in the brownies. That adds some vital moisture and sweetness. Bananas are relatively high in sugar as fruits go. So if you have insulin-resistant diabetes, scarfing down bananas may not be your best choice. In our recipe, the banana is subbing in for the oil, I figure. That's what I'm thinking. Did you know bananas actually are categorized as a berry? And the plant that they grow on is not actually a tree. One medium-sized banana has roughly 110 calories, with 0.5 grams of fat and 27 grams of carbohydrates, 14 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of fiber. Now personally, I embrace the carbohydrate. I know some of you do not, but I do. We have 1 gram of protein, 25% of your daily need of vitamin B6, 16% of your daily recommended dosage of manganese, 14% of your vitamin C, 12% of your potassium and 12% of your fiber, 10% of your copper and 10% of your biotin, and 8% of your needed magnesium. Go banana power. Now on to the magical buckwheat groats. Your buckwheat groat is the hulled seed of the buckwheat plant, and it does far more than just add a delightful crunch to your baked goods and cereals. A 1/4 cup of buckwheat, which is a plant related to rhubarb, contains 6 grams of protein. It has both soluble and insoluble fiber. And that 1/4 cup will have 8% of your daily recommended dosage of iron. Buckwheat has an amino acid score of 99. That's like an A+. It's a complete protein. Now let's discuss our friend the black bean. The black beans are basically replacing flour in this recipe, and we all know beans have lots of fiber. Did you know that black beans help prevent cardiovascular disease and reduce your risk of certain types of cancer? Consumption of black beans also helps you regulate your blood sugar and can aid in digestion. And they neutralize the negative effects of sulfite. Maybe we'll look up sulfites next. Okay, now speaking of black beans fiber, you know it's soluble fiber. That's the kind of fiber we like. That helps lower blood cholesterol. Soluble fiber attracts water. Think about the word soluble, and it kind of turns into this gel sort of substance. Insoluble fiber adds bulk and helps pass things through your digestive system. Lowering your blood cholesterol level is important to the not thickening of your artery walls. Because if your artery walls thicken, you can have a heart attack or stroke. You don't want that. Wouldn't it be more fun to eat a brownie made with black beans than to have a heart attack or a stroke? I think it would. They help improve blood flow and lower blood pressure. The flavonoids I mentioned, of course, help prevent certain types of cancer. There are 8 different types of flavonoids in your black bean. They fight disease. And free radicals. Free the radicals! No, that's not right. They have a similar protein content to meat, but they digest slower, which helps you keep full longer. Stick that in your hat, Dr. Atkins. Oh, you can't, because you died of a heart attack. Okay, listen to this about soluble fiber. This is a good one. Because they attract water. Okay, we're talking poop now. We're getting to the poop part of the beans. They will bring water to your stool. That's the doctor word for poo. And that helps relieve constipation. Now, I don't know if y'all knew this about me, but I've been a lifelong sufferer of the constipations. I think the black bean brownies are going to become a daily staple for me. I think they are. All right, listen up, men. Molybdenum in the black beans. That helps reduce erectile dysfunction. The molybdenum is a rare vitamin that will increase your energy and your interest in the sexual sex. The molybdenum also helps break down the sulfites, right? Your bad sulfites, which are like your acidic parts of wine, dried fruits, certain vegetables that can cause headaches. Now, would you rather have headaches, constipation, erectile dysfunction, a heart attack and a stroke, or would you rather eat some delicious black bean brownies, have excellent blood flow, and have some sexy sex? You choose. This makes a lot of sense. If black beans help blood flow, that they're going to help the erection situation, because we all know that's about blood flow. You know what I'm saying? The erectile dysfunction is a good sign that you've got something wrong in your arteries. You got the clogs. You got the backup and buildup and fat and thickening of the artery walls. It's a sign you're gonna have a heart attack. Studies have shown that a lack of folate in the diet leads to what? Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Parkinson's and no sex over here. Sex and black bean brownies over here. I think the choice is pretty obvious. All right, now we're on to tasting the chocolate brownies. Oh, yum, yum, yum. I didn't really let them cool probably quite enough, so they fell a little bit apart as I took them out. They're a little gooey in the middle, which is actually really yummy.
Mine.
Are you taking mine?
All mine.
All yours? You like them? Evie's a big fan of chocolate. What do you think, Autumn?
I would give this 1,100,000.
You give it 1,000,000 points?
Oh,
Cool.
I give it as old as Grammy points.
You give it as old as Grammy points? That's almost 90. I bet she'd love to hear that. You think these brownies are a success? Are they a little mushy? They cooked for about 45 minutes. They're very yummy.
Give us more.
The brownies are a total success. Go back, watch what I did, write the recipe down, and do that. Alright, click to subscribe, share on social media, give us a thumbs up, comment below. Now I have to give them more. Bye.